And welcome back, everyone. It's Q&A June, and I got a blue drink. This, if you're wondering, is well, it's not a true Cobalt Velvet. If you watch How to Drink, he made this, and I picked up on it. It's a damn good drink. It's made with 1 part, basically 1 ounce gin, 1 ounce vodka, and half an ounce of Blue Cristal. Shake that over ice, pour it in, ice and all, and then you top it off with a lime soda. I topped it off with Sprite. Normally, I do a more tart soda, like a grapefruit soda, and if I'm going to be honest, I think it's better with the grapefruit soda. I love Sprite, but Sprite actually doesn't make a good mixed drink a lot of time I've found. But either way, Q&A June 25th, to be precise. I usually just put the month and the year, but still, regardless. June 25th. Yeah, man. God, how long have we been doing this now? I remember when I started this channel, I did not have any white in my hair whatsoever. Now I got not a lot of white. Like, you can't see it on the camera, but if I were close enough and you looked hard enough, you can definitely see them with the salt and pepper in there. And I still get the stray one in my beard every once in a while. But, we get older, we keep doing these things, but I keep doing it because I love it regardless if I'm older. So, let's just get into the questions. The quicker I get into this, and I see, there's a little spider friend on the table. Hello, spider friend. Hey, it's good to see you. So, from Chris Dash, and you asked a couple questions here. So, I'll try to do it all combined into one, because I think I only see... let's see. I think I'm only seeing. I think I'm only seeing 2 different questions. I mean, there's multiple questions in them, but 2 different comments. Okay. So, just to start out with, do you think Pennywise Deadlights could affect Goku and Vegeta? Okay, so this is the question that always comes up when we're talking about throwing someone from another universe into a different universe and how they compare. Deadlights do affect living individuals. They either drive them crazy or they or they kill them straight out. Because Pennywise is essentially eldritch horror. Our brains can't process Pennywise's true form. We get the closest approximation we can to it, but otherwise we kind of just go mad. But that only works if your universe isn't used to things of that nature. If it's not used to the unknowable, ununderstandable, all that. Because you deal with the multiverse, aliens, deities, gods, I really don't think it would affect Goku and Vegeta. Maybe it would make them pause, like, I feel a little weird. And then that's it. But, I don't think it would affect Goku and Vegeta. Do you think Pennywise Deadlights could affect Ben Tennyson? No. He's dealt with actually more abstract beings than Pennywise. So, and the Omnitrix probably would protect him on some level. So, no, I don't think it would affect Ben Tennyson. Do you think the Deadlights could affect the Powerpuff Girls or the Rowdy Rough Boys? Because they got cartoon logic on their side, I would probably say no, but they are probably more susceptible than the other 2. Because the highest, concept individual they deal with is him. And that's more or less Satan. But he's not usually doing stuff that kind of affects their minds. So, I don't know, that one's a maybe. And do you think the Deadlights could affect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Those guys, maybe. Yeah, those guys are a maybe. I do know they've dealt with some cosmic level stuff, but it's nowhere near to the same level as a Goku or a Vegeta or a Ben Tennyson. So that one's for a maybe. Do you think they could affect Deadpool? Frankly, no. In fact, most humans, like mutants or superheroes, or human-based superheroes in the Marvel Universe, who have fought cosmic entities or dealt with cosmic deities, I'm going to just outright say no. Or who have enhanced or altered mental states. And Deadpool is an altered mental state. Do I think they could affect Fantastic Four and Franklin Richards? Again, no. They deal with the Galactus on a regular basis. And Franklin Richards is a multiversal plus individual. So, at his peak. So, no. Do I think they can affect Dr. Doom? Nope. Doom is Doom. If Doom can survive complete and utter mind domination, he can survive. And again, he's dealt with cosmic entities before. Do you think they could affect Harley Quinn? Harley is not anywhere near as insane as the Joker, but it's very possible they could affect Harley Quinn at some level because she's not as insane as the Joker or Super Saiyan, to take your pick. Do you think Pennywise could affect Poison Ivy? possible. Though she is like a weird mix of plant and human, so the plant aspect of it, the hybridization of her body, might prevent that from hurting her. Yeah. Affect Shazam. Shazam's probably a no. He's got too much magic on his side. Could they affect Danny Phantom? Ooh, that's an interesting one, because he's technically, I mean, he's living, but the Deadlights don't affect the dead. So, for example, they wouldn't affect any ghost he faces, but they might affect him to some, because he's been controlled before. That's the thing. He's been controlled by certain things that can control ghosts before. I would say maybe. Yeah, actually, no, I'll even say yes. They could affect Danny Phantom. Do you think they could affect Word Girl? Because Word Girl is one of those characters I just don't know enough about to really give you a firm answer. So I would say probably. Just from the little I know about her, I used her in one Who Would Win. So that's about all I know for certain. Thanks for the questions. Dennis Servin asks, 1 of 10. So, hey, Clockwork, congrats on 13,000 subscribers. Thank you. I'm very pleased to be at 13. Not long until 14,000. I like your attitude, but it took a while to get to 13. Once we hit around 10, we did start to slow down. Mostly because I haven't changed much of how I do things. And if you want to stay relevant and like really attract new people in, you do kind of have to be a bit more on the ball, but I'm just not tech savvy enough to do that. All right, then. Now for my questions. 1 of 10. 1. How often you often have an X-Men poster on your wall in your videos, so I ask you, what are your top 5 X-Men? Yeah, that was from Days of Future Past. I picked up that poster when I saw the movie. Great movie. My top 5 favorite X-Men of all time, and I think I've maybe been asked this before. I mean, it's a boring answer. Number 1 is still Wolverine. I mean, he's just cool as hell, but he's also got some really human stories I like too. And especially someone who's as strong as he is, but not like a god or anything. He's actually a really interesting character and who can live a lot longer than the rest of us. That's what Old Man Logan partly is about too. He's a really interesting character for that. But if we're going back beyond that, I'd say, and we're talking about the X-Men, not their villain roster or anything like that. Gambit's always been one of my favorites. I love Gambit. And these are probably now in no particular order. I'm trying to think. Look, not to say it's like, you're crushing it just because you think she's hot. It's not because she's hot, but Storm, I've always loved Storm. Just from a power set, she's regal. She's also very mature. I do love that. But, again, Storm's kind of bae, so... Nightcrawler... I didn't love, I mean, I always liked Nightcrawler, but I really grew to like Nightcrawler as it went on. And I loved him in 97. Loved him. It's like, lady, I got 6 reasons. No, my friend, 9. Oh, man, that scene with him and Logan, man, yeah, and that music. Oh, so good. So Nightcrawler would be in there. My last favorite X-Men character. Ooh. See, it all depends, because there have been characters who have been X-Men who you wouldn't think would consider X-Men. I'm trying to think. There are characters who have been X-Men that I am a real big fan of. But that 5th one's kind of eluding me at the moment. If I were to throw a random one who I just like as a character out there real quick, I might go... because there's the new X-Men too, so I can always think about that roster. Oh, you know what? Husk. Husk has always been a really unique character to me, just because that power set's unique. So yeah, I would say, again, Wolverine's my number 1, but in no particular order after that, although I might say in the order I did it in, would be Gambit, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Husk. Maybe Nightcrawler and Storm be fighting it out. But anyway. Thanks for that. Number 2, how long have I had glasses? Since kindergarten. Actually, no, since 1st grade. My eyes started to go bad around kindergarten, and they got really bad in 1st grade. And so I have had glasses since I was in 1st grade. So since I was 7? That would be 7, right? No, that would be... I'm doing the math in my head here. I was 12 in 6th grade, 11th and 5th, 10th and... So since I was about 8. I mean, my prescriptions had to go up. I wear Coke. If you can see that, I wear freaking Coke bottle. I got bad eyes. I am legally blind without these things. Like, I can, let me be very clear. I can see my surroundings fine. I can navigate my world fine. It's a big blur, but I've gotten used to that. That's why I can do that. If someone tried to pick a fight with me, take my glasses, I could still kick their ass because I can do that without my glasses. But I can't legally drive without them. So there's that. Number 3, if you were ever to make a let's play or walkthrough of a game, what would the game be? Like, if you had, which game, like, if you had to, which game would you choose to? Okay, so no joke, I was actually thinking about this the other day because I finally was able to hook up my old PS2 and I'm just enjoying it. By the way, have you seen that meme I love where it's like, my 24-year-old PS2 is Rambo, just like, yeah, still going, whereas like the PS4s are all on life support. Man, you know what? I have to comment. Like, yeah, the fact is, my PS2 runs fucking fine. But I was actually thinking about that. Now, I'm not a gamer in the sense of I'm not a YouTube gamer. I'm not going to stream or anything like that. It's not my style. Hypothetically, though, if I ever were to do it, and honestly, I could still maybe do like videos on this game. I've been playing, I've been playing the original Dark Cloud. And after this, I'm going to replay Dark Cloud too. But yeah, I've been playing the original Dark Cloud. That to me is such a just warm hug of a game, comfort food game. If you don't know what Dark Cloud is, you can just look it up. But it was a bit of a Zelda ripoff, admittedly. It's I want to say it's an RPG kind of. Essentially, it's a dungeon crawler. The long and short of it is, the story is like there's this dark genie, the world's kind of destroyed. You're the one guy left. And you're given this special stone which allows you to rebuild the world. You have to go into dungeons, fight monsters, get weapons, build up the weapons, upgrade them, transform all that. And you find these spheres called, I believe, Alamanta spheres or whatever, Atlas spheres. And they contain parts of the place you're in. There's like 6 key locations. And then like the final spot where you're actually assembling memories, not it's kind of like the final things, you're assembling memories that led to the Dark Genie's creation. It's really cool. But to the point, like 6 locations, and you got to rebuild the location, the town that you're visiting. And the cool thing is that you got to do specifications to it, absolutely. And if you do it to their specifications, you do get like a bonus reward at the end. But after you're done with that, you can literally build these places however you freaking like. So even though you want to build them the specific way, you can then build however you like. And it really is just kind of, and it's got like a fishing mini game where you can like fish, catch fish and win prizes and all that. The weapon system is really cool. You got 6 different characters you can just rotate from. They each have a different weapon. I have always just loved this game. It's very 90s, early 2000s PS2, but it's a great game. So if I were to do a let's play or a video just explaining things or ranking them or whatever, that would be a game I definitely would do. Also, Duelist of the Rose, which I currently have sitting on my table. And like, once I'm done with those, Duelist of the Rose. I've been looking for this game forever. Thank God. Because I didn't grow up with it, but my friend had it and I would occasionally play it. And I'm like, why don't I have this game? I want this game. Hi, Pumpkin. My girlfriend's cat's there. So that would be the game I'd probably do. Number 4, if you had the Dragon Balls, what would you wish for? Depends which Dragon Balls. Because Purunga and Shenron and the Super Dragon Balls all do a different amount of wishes and have different limitations. Let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that you're saying, okay, what if you had the Earth Dragon Balls? Which Shenron, if I'm not mistaken, has been upgraded for 3 wishes at this point. And can do a lot. Okay, so my 3 wishes. Unfortunately, his limitation, I couldn't bring my mother back, unfortunately, because his limitation is natural deaths. You can't bring them back from natural deaths. And even if you could, there's like a year limit. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring my mother back. What would I do? First, I would actually fix her ozone. Now, I've always said this. If I had like a computer that can manipulate the world and all that to myself, I've had these thoughts before, believe it or not. I actually wouldn't completely fix it to 0. Like go straight to 0, perfect. I'd fix it about 60%. Why? Because this is a problem. We need to be able to learn to fix correct our planet ourselves. So, and like help our planet, because we're the kind of the cause of this to some degree, maybe even a large degree. So I would say 60%, because you've got to still know it's there. and to be able to try to address it. So that'd be the first thing. Second, I would frankly, and look, I'm like, normally I'd be like, there's got to be some personal stuff. Honestly, I need to fix the bigger picture for the personal stuff to work. Second off, I would just, if assuming this is within Virunga's power, I would say stop any current wars going on. Current wars. And then third, and this is me getting political, get that asshole out of the White House. Like, just get him, his entire ilk out of there. Can you just make it so someone else is in there? I'd do something along those lines. That's my political standpoint. And you might be saying, well, he created the ceasefire. Yeah, he also bombed them and all that, and I don't want to get into it. But point being, like, yeah, like, look, you can support him if you want, but if you're a supporter, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really interested in having a conversation with you. And I think I do have some people who watch me who are supporters. And look, we can all be friends here, whatever, but look, we saw what we got the first time. I'm not saying Kamala would have been better, but we saw what we got the first time, and the second time's been a lot worse, and not even a year. So, yeah. I lost my job, probably because of that asshole. So, just saying. Anywho, so yeah, that'd be the third one. Anyway, number 5. What cartoon did you absolutely love as a kid? Anime doesn't count. Oh, my, a cartoon? Oh, there's too many to count on that. Angry Beavers, loved Angry Beavers. Beetlejuice, the animated cartoon, loved Beetlejuice. There's a bunch of other cartoons I could probably think of off the top of my head real quick if I tried. I mean, I grew up on Disney. I grew up on WB. I mean, Batman the animated series. I grew up on Batman. I own Batman the animated series now. So yeah, those would be a couple. Did you have a book series you read growing up and you really liked? I mean, I read the Goosebumps series. I like those. It's not that I didn't read books. They're just not a series of books I really read. 7. Have you had the suggestion? Have you had the suggestion in mind? Or I have had the suggestion in mind, but I want to know your thoughts. Would you do a what if Naruto had a gaming system, but decide the system yourself, like build it up, its rules, rewards? Would that be something you'd be up for doing? Because I would think it'd create something awesome. I'm gonna be honest. I've actually read fanfics like that, and obviously there's solo leveling we can go with. I'm sure I've had that what if written down. But creating his own game system, I probably would not. Hey, the amount of stuff I'd have to put into that would be a lot. And that's not saying I'm against putting a lot of effort into a what if or something like that. Obviously, I'm not. But that's something where, yeah, it doesn't really strike me. Because gaming says there's so much ruling I'd have to do and go into that. I just don't think I would, unfortunately. Sorry. Number 8, pizza or ice cream? What's the tastiest to you? Oh, pizza. I love ice cream, but ice cream is an occasional thing. Ice cream is obviously very sweet. There's only certain flavors of ice cream you like. Well, pizza is also certain styles I like. Pizza is savory. It is a meal. It's something I can eat a lot more often than pizza or ice cream. So, pizza. If Setsuno Togaki from 18 for Class 1B and Izuku Midoriya interacted more, like say if Midoriya was in 1B, how do you think they'd get along? Are you asking me to? I think they'd be a couple? Probably not. He was clearly more attracted to the Uraraka type. But do I think they could get along? Yeah, I don't think she's not a Bakugo type character. Or a Monoma character, so... Yeah, I don't think there's any reason why they wouldn't go on. Midoriya actually gets along with everyone in his class except Bakugo until Bakugo gets his head out of his ass. So, yeah, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't get along. He wouldn't get along with Monoma, but that's about it. And then 10. How are you and your girlfriend and your loved ones doing in general? I hope they're well. We are well. My girlfriend's currently out at the moment, which is why I'm currently doing this. But, yeah, I also got to just be careful. She doesn't want any personal items of hers in the video. Luckily, normally the small videos I do, my camera's very small. That's why I moved in here, because there's no real personal items to show up here. And it's at least cool if now I can be in here and not be sweating my ass off. Thanks again for the great content. I wish you absolute best as always. Why, thank you, sir. All right then. From I think it's Kynereth the Demon. Hello, it's me again. Well, hello again. Just wanted to say you've been a glimmerous inspiration to me since I discovered you back in 2020. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And wanted to thank you for continuing to make amazing videos. As always, here are my questions. Well, thank you for that. 1 of 7. How do you go about picking Lantern Corps videos? Picking Lantern Corps videos? Do you mean how do I go about picking the suggestions, or how do I go about picking the cores for the candidates? Because it's kind of self-explanatory about the emotional spectrum. If you're asking about how I pick the Lantern Corps videos, it's the same way I pick all the videos. I have the list. Right now, my Who Would Win book's in there. But I have the booklet, the let's just call it book. It's more of a writing pad, but whatever. I write down all the people's names, all the suggestions each person gives me, and I just go person to person to person to person. Now, sometimes people give me more than one person will give me the same request. That means I can get through more people. But that's the way I go about it. It's the only way I've seen that's truly fair. Because if I start taking, apart from birthday requests, if I start taking, like, say, Patreon, first I don't have one, but if I did, Patreon exclusive requests, and then people would just be paying me to do their requests, and I would never get to people. So that's the fairest way I've seen doing it. And it's the same for every single type of video I do. 2, could someone be a candidate for the Life and Death Lantern Corps at the same time? It would have to be someone who... The problem is those are direct opposites to each other. They are. And the White Lantern Ring is the strongest lantern ring there is. Those are direct opposites. One and the emotional, and if talking about like the emotional light side, it's the absence of light, or it's it's the absence of motion technically. But in theory, it would have to be someone who's maybe like the undead, or like a Lantern Ring is brought back. But the problem is the White Lantern Ring would actually bring them back. So no, I actually don't think you can be a candidate for both Lantern Corps. Well, you could maybe be a candidate. You couldn't dual wield both. You'd pretty much have to pick one. So yes, actually, in that case, you theoretically could be a candidate for both, but you just couldn't dual wield both of them. Okay, 3. If you could pick an Espada to be your roommate, who would it be? I've had to think about that. It would not be Onyero, would not be Yami, lazy and bad-tempered. It won't be Onyero, too creepy. Would not be Silaporo. Zomari would probably be a pretty chill roommate, all things considered. Grimjow would be too antagonistic, as with Neotora. Ukiwara would be fine, but he'd be depressing. Definitely not dealing with Barigon. Haribel, hey, one of Bleach Bay, but in terms of like a decent roommate, I mean, she'd be a fine roommate. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then Stark is pretty much just like, Stark's a little lazy, but he's chill. I would probably go with... See, I don't want to deal with someone who's depressing, though, so it probably would not be Ukiwara. Or someone who's just kind of zealotry a little bit, like Zomari's like, praise Aizen, Banzai! Like, no. So it comes down to either Haribel or Stark. Either of those two, probably. And I'd probably actually go with Stark just to avoid any sexual tension on my part, because there's no way Haribel would be interested in me. And plus, I have a girlfriend. So, sorry, Haribel, I'm taken. So, anyway. So, there you go. 4, Pyromancy or Hydromancy? Hydromancy. Because one straight up beats the other. Well, 9 times out of 10, one beats the other. Pyromancy, yes, you could beat with enough heat, but you need enough heat to beat that. Hydromancy, though, there's water everywhere. Fire, even... now, granted, Pyromancy, you're creating fire, but you're also creating water with Hydromancy. And I assume you're also manipulating it. So, yeah, I'd still say Hydromancy. You can do more with Hydromancy, too. Hydromancy is not just destruction, it's creation. So you can water your garden, you can feed, you can help people. Pyromancy, yeah, it can keep you warm. But unless you're clearing fields for crops or repurposing the land, yeah, no. 5, what would an Arrancar-centric Bleach division look like? If you're talking about, like, say, if there was a squad, whatever, and it was run by Arrancar, who would the captain, lieutenant, all that be? You'd have, like, the lowest level fractions be your grunt soldiers. Lieutenant is probably the, like, would have to be one of the strongest fractions. So, you'd have an Espada as the captain. So there you go. Actually, that's really what it comes down to. In terms of like who would I pick for a captain position? I mean, you'd want to have Stark. He's technically the strongest. Uh, Take Yami's transformation out of the equation. He is the strongest. Uh, but in terms of like who the Fraction would be, like who's the best candidate for a Fraction, who's a lieutenant, it's not a lot of them. I mean, trying to think here. I mean, Ebron, well, the guy who fought Ikaku, he's not a bad option. Hollybell's Trespecias are not a bad option, and Baragon's definitely got some good options there as well. I guess I'd probably lean towards one of the Trebestias, to be honest. They're all fairly powerful. Maybe I think I might go with not Sun, not Apache. Who's the other one? Mila Rose. I think that's her name. Mila Rose. I'd probably go Mila Rose. So Mila Rose is the lieutenant, and Stark as the captain. Do you think a water devil fruit is possible? I know for a fact that Oda has been very hesitant to bring something like that in because it does counter the weakness of the devil fruit, being a water devil fruit. Like a Logia water devil fruit would be completely counteracting the entire concept. So, yeah, is it possible? Sure, it's possible. We have so many other types of devil fruits, but is it likely he'll make one? I don't know. And 7, finally, and technically a question. Have you ever heard of it? Well, it is a question. You're asking have I ever heard of an alcoholic drink called alligator sperm? Yes, I have. I've never had it, but I've heard about it, and I've heard it's actually pretty good. So there's that. All right, thanks for the questions, the demon. All right, the Master Gaming asks 1 of 5. I have a couple questions for you, as does many people. Also, congrats on 13K subscribers. Thank you very much. Do you think Lilo and Stitch, number 1, do you think Lilo and Stitch, Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, Avatar 3 will make $1 billion plus worldwide this year? Okay, so Lilo and Stitch is still in theaters right now. So that one, it has crossed 900 million, but it is really starting to taper out. I don't think that's hitting $1 billion. It might catch Minecraft. It might even be higher than Minecraft, but it's not catching $1 billion. So that leaves us now with the current releases. Jurassic World, Superman, Wicked for Good, Zootopia 2, Avatar 3. Okay, let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Avatar 3 is a guaranteed $1 billion film. It's almost a guaranteed $2 billion film. So those two guaranteed $1 billion films. That $1 billion film. Okay, now none of the rest of these are guaranteed $1 billion films. But Jurassic World, every last one of the Jurassic World films made $1 billion. Do I think this one will do $1 billion? Same with Superman. Do I think Superman will do $1 billion? I think both these ones are going to do very well. I think they can do $1 billion, but do I think they will? Right now, I'm going to say no, because they are in a murderer's row month, because they got each other to deal with, plus Fantastic Four. So, and they both come out before Fantastic Four as well. So they're not robbing money from Fantastic. I mean, they are, but Fantastic Four comes out and robs the most money from them versus them robbing the most money from Fantastic Four. You see what I'm saying? So it's not impossible for either of them. I'm really looking forward to Superman. And I'm looking forward to Jurassic World Rebirth. I actually had a chance to go see it on Monday because we had a secret screening of it. But I found out about it last minute. My girlfriend was just mentally dead. So I wasn't about to do it. Wicked for Good stands a good shot. The last one made $700+ million. It's only going to get more positive word of mouth. Like this one now has all the goodwill of the first one. So I still don't know for certain if it's going to do it. If there's one that would almost guarantee will, I think it would still be Zootopia 2, though. The first one made $1 billion. It's animated. It's family friendly. So yeah, it's Pixar. So yeah, I would say yeah, Zootopia 2 and Avatar might be the two big locks. All three of the other ones I think have a shot. They have a legit shot. But because they're all in the same month, It's like, all right, I made 150 million this weekend. Hey, 2 weeks later, ooh, that's hurting me. Well, I made 200 million. Ooh, that's hurting me. And then Fantastic Four was like, hey guys, look, can we all just get along? Fantastic Four, I noticed you didn't put that on there. I don't think that would make $1 billion anyway. But Lilo and Stitch is the only one I can say confidently I don't think is making $1 billion. I can be wrong. It was like last I checked, it was like 90 million away. That's just still a lot, especially where we're at right now. So, okay, number 2. What's a movie that you didn't think would do well at the box office that ended up being a box office hit? Okay, so this is one of those questions where I've got to think about a movie I didn't think would do well. So, for example, I thought Minecraft was okay, but I never thought it was going to do bad. I never thought that. Mind you, I didn't think the opening was going to be as big as it was going to be, so that might be one that could qualify, but that didn't mean I thought it was going to do badly. A movie, though, that I thought didn't look great, wasn't going to do well, and then ultimately did really well. Let me actually get the box office for last year up, because I think there might have been one last year. Okay, so let me get go away. Stupid. Okay. All right. Let me get the worldwide up here real quick. So let me just look at the movies out currently. Minecraft, I thought it would do fine. Mission Impossible. I mean, the Mission Impossible films actually you could probably count towards that a little bit. They didn't do bad. They just didn't make their money back. Thunderbolts, though. Oh no, Thunderbolts is you got the opposite question coming here. Thunderbolts, even though I knew it was a long shot, I can already tell you for your third question, which is the opposite of this. Movies I thought it'd do well and wouldn't. Thunderbolts had a good opening weekend. It just didn't do well enough. It just didn't. Yeah, but I know why it didn't, because it was coming off of Unfortunate Brave New World, which wasn't that good. So it did really hurt it. Now, in terms of, let me just look at last year something real quick. Anything that came out that I didn't think would do well. You know what? Mufasa the Lion King. I didn't think that would do very well. And you know what? It did pretty okay. It made 722 million, even though it's a prequel to a remake. So, you know what? Put that one under the list. Put that one under that. Is there anything else that maybe did well that I didn't think would do well? Let me go one more year. I'll go to 2023 and then I'll wrap it up. Let's see here. No, Barbie, figured it would do well. Super Mario Brothers movie, figured it would do well. Oppenheimer knew it would do well. Guardians 3 knew it would do well. Fast X actually, I think, lost money. So whatever. Nope, knew it would do well. Wonka knew it would do well. Let's see here. Something that I didn't think would do well. You know, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I'll put that one on that list. Because it ended up making about $447 million. Ended up about breaking even. So it did all right. So I'd put that one there, I'd say. You know what? Another one. Right out the gate. Another one. Migration. That one did way better than I think it had any... First off, it was a far better movie than I actually thought it would be. But it was fine. But it made $300 million against a relatively low budget. So it did far better than I thought it was going to do. So I'd put that one on there too. And then to answer your next question, movies I thought I would do well but ended up flopping or bombing, again, Thunderbolts. Right out the gate, Thunderbolts. Again, I know why. I wish it would have done better. I know why it didn't do well, though, because it came off Brave New World, unfortunately, which wasn't that good. If Brave New World was as good, or at least half as good as Thunderbolts, first off, that movie makes more like $500-600 million. And Thunderbolts easily makes anywhere between $400 and $500 million also. So... yeah, Thunderbolts does a lot better because then you carry all that good faith from that movie. But you had the good faith of Deadpool and Wolverine and Agatha all along, and it kind of got squandered a little bit, unfortunately. Now, to be fair, the Brave New World was the last film from the Chapek era mandate, so you can tell the difference between the quality of filmmaking in Thunderbolts versus that. So, all right, number 4. What's a movie you like that everyone dislikes? Okay, a movie I like that everyone else hates. I mean, everyone's is hyperbole. Not everyone will hate it, but a movie I liked. that everyone else didn't like? That's a really good question. Oh, you know what? Me and my girlfriend saw this last year. Drive-Away Dolls, the comedy with the two lesbians who find the box of dildos that are like senators and stuff, and they're on a weird road. We actually had a really damn good time with that movie. Apparently, no one else liked it. So that movie, and then the movie I just liked that everyone else likes. Okay, that is a lot easier to pinpoint down. Elio 1. I don't like Elio very much. It's fine, but I don't like Elio that much. I didn't like it very much. But what was it? Nice People? Not Nice People. Crap. Hold on. Charlize Theron. It's the one with Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron. Okay. What was that film she was in years ago that I had? No. Okay. So I think I've said this story before, but I'll tell it again for the new people. Okay, as soon as I find this movie, this was years ago when Mark and I were still actively like seeing movies together and like doing the channel together. Okay, and this was before Atomic Blonde. I want to say it was, and I know it was when he was dating his ex. So I want to say it was like 2013 or 14 when it came out, because we haven't started doing the channel around 2013. So it had to have come out. Okay. Where was it? What was it? Not Atomic Blonde. Nope. Okay, we're gonna go that way. What's this? Okay, I know. Okay, producer. I want acting credits. Screw that. It's like I'm like, what is it? Where the hell is the filmography? It's like IMDb's giving the producer credits, not the actor credits. Like, why the hell would you do that? And go away. I don't care about this series Countdown. Stupid ad. Go to hell. And there's no exiting out of this ad. Screw you. Okay. So let's see. Where was it? It was Young Adult. Everyone really liked Young Adult. This is the one where she's kind of like this old, not old obviously, but she comes back to her hometown. She is a kind of a writer, but she's just fallen slump. She hasn't grown out of high school basically. And, she comes back to her hometown, meets her old flame. He's married. And Patton Oswalt's an old friend of hers and old classmate. And it's just, everyone really liked that. That movie is one of those, is so misleading as a movie. That trailer is similar kind of issue I had with Elio, but it's a little different. That where it's edited for like the jokes, and it is not that funny of a movie. There's like one or two scenes that are funny, but like two or three. There's a few scenes that are funny, but it is actually more like this weird, depressing dramedy. It's not. It's barely funny, and it's really just uncomfortable. Our lead is not likable, and she keeps doing these very, very unlikable things. No joke, and I told the story. I've told the story a couple times, but I'll tell it again. Me and Mark and his girlfriend at the time went to go see this film. I went to go use the bathroom, and I lingered outside for a little bit. Mark went to use the bathroom, went outside at least twice. And it turns out, and I asked him, it's like, yeah, no, I was just going out there because I got hit up. Yeah, we literally paused to go back in because, like, this is hard as hell to get through. The third time he was about to get up, I literally grabbed his shoulders, like, you sit your ass back down. I'm sitting through this. You're sitting through this. It's like, he's just sitting there, like, no. It was rough. I hate that movie. I absolutely hate it. So, a movie that a lot of people liked, but I didn't like, there you go. All right, then. So, thanks for the questions. James Riley, what do you think of Agame YouTube channel where they frame what ifs as an infinite Tsukiyomi illusion? I've actually never looked at the channel. I should have done it beforehand, but yeah, I've never looked at it. But that's a cool display. B, Fu experimenting with timelines of many universes to prepare for Omniverse Time Wars. C, wait, what? where they frame what ifs as illusion. Oh, okay. They frame them as preparing Omni's world, or W.D. Gasser experimenting for unknown reasons. D. Demon Charge getting summoned somewhere in the canon of the universe or treated. Okay. Now I had to read this a little bit. So you're saying he treats the what ifs as these 4 scenarios and then goes from there. Hey, look, that's how this guy decides to do what ifs. That's fine. I literally had to, and if you're watching this person, I'm not being mean to you. I literally had someone, an old viewer, who constantly gets on my case for this, but I've told them multiple damn times, so I might get a little mean, but not like, go F yourself mean. Look, person, I've said this multiple times, but I'll say it again. This is how I do what ifs. I stick to the canon. I stick to the story as best I can, but I go with the change that is made from the what if and go from the changes that branch out there. I'm not just going to do what willy-nilly. I'm not fanficking it like that. That's not how I do things. And I've told you this, person, several times. But you keep wanting the thing that you're not going to get. Look, I don't want to be mean when I say this, but maybe you should just watch someone else, man. If I'm not giving you what you want, you need to move on, find a better lover. But no, seriously, if I'm not meeting your expectations, then you might want to just watch someone who can. I'm sorry, but you asking me constantly is not going to change how I do it. So sorry. All right, Diego Lorente. Now, Diego has given me, let's see here. I know you've given me at least 3 here, I think. No, you gave me 2 different ones. Okay. Now, granted, they are long, but I will try to get through these. Where are we for doing for time? I think I'm not even at an hour yet. Oh, yeah, I'm doing great for time. I'm speeding through this one. All right, experience with doing it. I can actually get through it faster. Okay, Diego Lorente. One question. What's one of your favorite Rolling Stones or Beatles songs? Okay, Rolling Stone, probably Sympathy for the Devil. Oh, it's Captain Jack Flash. Captain Jack Flash is a good one. Beatles song, Imagine. Technically that's just Lennon, but Imagine. Let's see here. I do like Get Back too. I like a lot of Beatles, but I'm more of a hard rock guy. But I like the soft, like Zeppelin, AC/DC, Aerosmith. I like them a bit more. But I also love Floyd too. That's one of my favorite bands. But yeah, those would be a couple. Will you ever host a YouTube series to kill count by death? To kill count, will you ever meet James, Chelsea, and Zoran? Will I ever host a YouTube series to kill count by death? So, are you asking whether I'll do like a kill count series? No, probably never doing that. Will I ever meet James, Chelsea, or Zoran? Hell if I know. I'm not. See, here's the thing. I'm not someone who reaches out to other YouTubers to collaborate. If a straight out YouTuber wants to collaborate, they can find me. But I am kind of a look, when I say no name, no, I'm not. There's someone I watch who's got like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like, I am a nobody. I'm like, yeah, you're not a nobody. You're not like superstardom on YouTube, but you're not a nobody. You're like that step or two above nobody. I am a nobody. I am a slightly above average. I'm slightly above small fish. I'm like a okay sized fish in an ocean. So no, I probably will not be collaborating anytime soon with anyone. And if I were to collaborate, it's going to be them who has to reach out to me. I'm not reaching out to anyone to collaborate. And that's not saying I'm against collaborating. I'm not. I'm just, first off, again, I've said this before, I'm not tech savvy at all. I can barely do the stuff I do already. So, like, working out, like, Skyping or whatever, that's difficult for me, believe it or not. So, but I can work through that. It's just, someone wants to reach out and collaborate, by all means. But I'm just not going to be the one to engage or to prompt that. All right, number 3. Do you like the Minecraft movie? I just said this earlier. I've softened on it as time's gone on. I saw it the first time. I'm like, this isn't great, but I did enjoy these aspects. The more I've sat on it, the more I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It is mid. It is mid. Like, the story isn't great. There are characters that just don't need to be there. You can just make it about Jack Black, about Jason Momoa, and you can even throw the kid in there for the kid thing of it. You don't need his sister there. You don't need the other girl there. Actually, it probably would have flowed a bit better, to be honest. But it's got It's got some good jokes. Jack Black's still a riot. Jason Momoa was fun as hell. The action and effects are actually really good. And they're, like I said, that joke at the end with the knife is like, no, I'm not gonna do it again. You're totally gonna do it again. No, I made it. I'm not gonna do it. Snake attack. Oh, like that was hilarious. So you know what? It's all right. It's not anything god awful. Okay, 4. Do you think Emma Myers should play Amy Rose in Sonic 4? Who the hell is Emma Myers? Do you like Emma Myers? Give me a second. I want to be sure about who Emma Myers is before I even answer these 2 questions. Emma Myers. Let's find out who you are, Emma. Emma. Oh, she was in the Minecraft movie. Do I think she should play her? I won't say should. Do I think she could play her? Sure, she could play her. But remember, Amy's going to be a voice. It's not going to matter who plays her physically. It doesn't matter. It's got to be a voice that matches her. So actually, no. I'm going to say I don't think she should be Rose. I don't think her voice matches that. Now, in terms of do I like her as an actress? Yeah, I like her. She's fine. I haven't seen her admittedly in a lot of stuff. She was a voice in the Angry Birds movie, Family Switch. She was fine in Minecraft. I actually haven't watched Wednesday, but I heard she's really good in Wednesday. Eventually, I'll get around to watching Wednesday. I know the 2nd season's dropping. Okay, so question 5. Have you watched Napoleon Dynamite? Is a funny movie in Nacho Libre. I've watched Nacho Libre. That was during the Jack Black era of just a random Jack Black movie. It's not the best movie. Napoleon Dynamite, I've only seen in bits. I'll be honest, Napoleon Dynamite, even though I can quote some of it, it's not really my taste. Just saying. It's too slice of life. I think that's it. Question number 6. What's your honest opinion about analog horror? I don't follow analog horror, to be honest, so that's my honest opinion. Question number 7. Would you rather try to survive real life? Would you rather try to survive in real life? I have no mouth, but I must scream. Terminator or Ultron or HAL 9000 2001 Space Odyssey. I'll be honest, even though I did do that who would win in the speed round, I don't know anything about the actual story of I have no mouth, but I must scream. I'm definitely not freaking Ultron, because I don't exist in the world of superheroes. It depends on the Terminator. No joke, I could probably take down a T-800. You might think like, oh, you think you're not. No, a pipe bomb took the damn thing out. I could literally just beat the damn thing in the head, knock it down, and then just bust it open. As long as I can get behind it and all that, and that's fine. A T-1000 or above, though, I'm effed on that one. HAL is interesting because HAL is simply cold logic, which means, in theory, you can out-logic HAL. But you need to be that level of smart. I don't know if I'm that. I like to consider myself a pretty intelligent guy, but I don't know if I'm that level of smart. So weirdly enough, I'm going to take the Terminator scenario because that one's at least possible to survive. We've seen people survive Terminators. Okay, number 8. Which of these cartoon characters has survived Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas? Okay, I'm just going to go down the list. Powerpuff Girls, yes. Dexter, yes. Johnny Bravo, probably not, actually. Gumball and Watterson, Gumball, probably, he's got too much Toon Force on his side. Watterson, I don't know. Finn and Jake, yes. Mordecai and Rigby, probably not, actually. Mojo Jojo, yes. Weasel and Ira Baboon. Weasel, yes. Ira Baboon, no, unless he dumbs his way through it. Cow and Chicken, probably not, actually. All 5 members of Codename Kids Next Door, yes, because they can teamwork. Courage, definitely. Mac and Blue, probably not. Billy and Mandy, yes. Mordecai and Rigby, didn't you just do Mordecai and Rigby? You did do Mordecai and Rigby already. Ed and Eddie, probably not, actually. They're as intelligent as Double D is, and Eddie is street smart, probably not. 9, have you watched Nightmare Before Christmas or Corpse Bride? I've watched both. They're both very good movies. Oh, and Coraline. I've watched all 3. They're very good movies. I enjoy all 3 of them. What's your honest opinion on who would win in the scenario between Spider-Man with Prep Time or Dr. Eggman in the Sonic movies? Oh, I'll have to write that one down. I've already told you I'm not doing a full-on who would win. Spider-Man with Prep? Because the smartest Spider-Man is, Eggman is smarter. Like, straight out, Eggman is smarter. But from the Sonic movies. And you're not giving me Spider-Man from the movies, you're giving me Spider-Man from the comics? I'd go Spider-Man from the comics, personally, with prep. And bonus, how do you get all your t-shirts? Do you have a collection? Yes or no? I buy them or they're gifted to me. It's pretty simple. I don't have a collection of t-shirts. No, I just have t-shirts. And do you watch anime? Yes, I do. All right. And then the other amount of questions you gave me, separate from the 6 questions. Number 1, if you can bring back one discount continued soda from your childhood, what would for another chance? Oh, Sierra Mist. True Sierra Mist. Oh, so good. I love Sierra Mist. Do you think AI will take over the world? Very similar to I Have No Mouth, I Must Scream, We Hate Us. Again, I don't know. I actually don't know that story, so I couldn't take. I think we do have to be careful around AI. We do. But I don't, because of how he's shown fiction, we are arrogant, so we could be taken advantage of, but I actually don't think I think we right now have enough safeguards in place to be okay. I do think it's something we need to be concerned about and or at the very minimum need to be aware about. But I don't think we need to, worry intensely. Okay, number 3, SCP Foundations contained Indoraptor. What object class would it be? Probably Safe or Euclid. It's not a Cater class because it's hard. Cater, the classifications are all about the level of difficulty containing it and to a degree their danger they pose. The Indoraptor is simply just a creature. So if anything, it's probably a safe class because you can just house the thing in a zoo. It's intelligent, but you could easily just house it in a containment facility. Question 4, which cartoon character would survive the Indoraptor? Powerpuff Girls? Yes. Dexter? Yes. Johnny? Because they got Toon Force, probably, but Johnny might be killed. Gumball, yes. Watterson, I don't know who Watterson is. Finn and Jake, yes. Mordecai and Rigby, maybe not. Weasel and Ira Baboon, maybe not. Cow and Chicken, no. Gumball, Gumball Watterson's his full name, so yes. All right. All 5 members of Codename Kids Next Door, no. Courage, yes. Mac and Blue, no. Billy and Mandy, if they can get Grimm, yes. Mordecai and Rigby, you keep asking me the same thing, dude. Ed, Ed, and Eddie, no. Jack Skellington, yes. Wanderer and Silver from Wander Over Yonder, I don't follow that one, sadly. SpongeBob, yes. Timmy, you can just wish the damn thing away. Danny, yes. Zim, yes. Homer, no. Peter, no. Rick and Morty, yes. Sam and Dean, I know they're not cartoon characters, but that's fine. Ooh. If they unload on that thing with actual bullets or knives or stab it, yes, but they're not used to fighting a dinosaur, so actually Sam and Dean might get wrecked. Popeye, yes, and Mojo Jojo, yes, he's got next. Question 5: who would actually win a hypothetical fight, Columbo or Light? I think you meant Light Yagami. Light? Well, because they're going to do that for Death Battle in some capacity, a lot of people kind of pointed out Columbo actually doesn't use his real name, so yeah, that's interesting. Columbo actually might be able to outmatch Light. Columbo's pretty smart. Question 6, what's your favorite Mel Brooks movie? Have you heard about, yes, I've heard about Spaceballs 2 happening. I saw that announcement trailer. That was beautiful. Oh, man. I mean, look, it comes down to 2. Just 2. And I love me History of the World Part 1. To Be or Not to Be is pretty funny. I've actually never watched it. It's one of the few Mel Brooks films I've ever watched. I'm also a big fan of Jackie Dying, loving it. And Robin Hood Men in Tights is really fun. But look, it's got to be either Spaceballs or it's got and Vertigo. High Anxiety is really good. But it's Blazing Saddles or Spaceballs. Those are the 2 goats of Mel Brooks and some 2 of the goats of comedy of all time. And for me, I actually lean towards Blazing Saddles a little bit over Spaceballs. Those are pure joy comedies for me. I can always watch them and always laugh, always quote them. They are pure magic. Last question. There, it's not the last question, dude. Come on. Have you watched the movie Signs? Yes, I have. And The Farm. Yeah, I have watched it. It's M. Night was right when he was on the cusp of starting to suck for a while. Would you also rather try to survive Jurassic Park scenario or would you rather try to survive a Jurassic Park scenario or a real life I Have No Mouth scenario? Okay, again, I don't know what that is. Which would happen first if one of these were to happen in real life? Well, the AI thing's probably more likely. I'd probably rather try to survive the Jurassic Park scenario, to be honest, because I can physically, survive these things probably. Do you think it's possible to get dinosaur DNA to clone dinosaurs? Not yet, but possible. With AI, probably not. Bonus question for you: what's your favorite Gene Hackman? What's your favorite Gene Hackman this year? You mean Gene Hackman movie, or character or performance? I would probably say, I couldn't answer that one. Probably, maybe Unforgiven. He's great in Unforgiven. We lost him, a tribute to him. What's your favorite Gene Hackman movie? Yep. Also, David Lynch died this year. Oh, David Lynch. I couldn't tell you David Lynch movies off the top of my head. Question of the day: do you think Sam and Dean could survive Final Destination? I mean, maybe they've survived worse. Depends if God is backing them in the corner there. So maybe. Let's see here now. Going back up here, we got from Rivet. Have you ever watched Epic Rap Battles of History? I'm sorry, you didn't pronounce it right. It's Epic Rap Battles of History. Yes, I've watched Epic Rap Battles of History. Those are kind of goated in many ways. Rivet also asked, Coke or Pepsi, Dr. Pepper or Sprite? Sprite, then Coke, then Pepsi, then Dr. Pepper. I don't like Dr. Pepper. What store you got this Bob Ross? Oh, that was a gift I think I got that from Spencer's one year. And that was a gift for a friend, but she never got it. So it was big enough for me. Yeah, for her. So it was big enough for me. I'm like, I'm going to wear this. Last 4 questions. Well, actually, okay. In that case, I'll go down to the other questions you have here. I'm just going down your script. Which of these cartoon characters would survive the Beldam, the Coraline? Powerpuff Girls would do it. Dexter would do it. Johnny Bravo would do it. Well, actually, Johnny would probably be screwed. Gumball, though, has Toon Force. Finn and Jake probably would. Mordecai and Rigby would. Well, they wouldn't. Mojo would. I Am Weasel, Aria Barboon probably wouldn't. Cow and Chicken probably wouldn't. Codenames Kids Next Door probably would. Courage would. Mac Blue would. Well, no, Mac and Blue probably wouldn't. Bill and Mandy would. Yeah, they would. We already did Mordecai. Dipper and Mabel Pines deal with a lot of supernatural shit, so they'd be fine. Ed and Eddie would be screwed. Samurai Jack and Ben 10 would be fine. Do you like Weird Al? Yes, I do. I have not seen the movie with Daniel Radcliffe, though, to answer your next question. Who's the worst in your opinion? Can you imagine if one of them were real? Oh, dear Christ. Bill Cipher, Oogie Boogie, the Beldam from Coraline, Chucky from Child's Play, Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, William Afton, Albert Wesker, the Joker from Batman, Darth Vader, Slappy, and Dummy P. Diddy. The answer to that is going to be Bill Cipher, because if Bill Cipher is out, there's nothing on this planet that will stop him. And there's more too. Holy crap. Lucifer? Lucifer from Supernatural. I mean, he would be bad too. Andy Pops is terrible. Yeah, there's too many on that list, dude. So I'll just say Bill Cipher just because of the sheer magnitude of power we're dealing with there. How can you do one of these suggestions and write them just for an idea? I mean, thank you for telling me that. I will put it in the what if suggestions. That's a lot. I can put all of those in there. It's just going to take a while for me to write that down. Have you watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I haven't in years, but it is a hilarious show, and I need to get back on there. It's on me and my girlfriend's watch list. Let's see here. Are you going to do a Halloween? Or you mean, am I going to do something for Halloween? Probably just hang out with my friends. Obviously, I'm 35. I'm going to be 36, almost 36 by then. No trick-or-treating. I don't have kids. What if Nightmare Before Christmas was like... What if, like a Nightmare Before Christmas, does Oogie Boogie have... if he won in Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, if he won, Jack's screwed, Sally's dead, and so is Santa. So, yeah, sad face all around. Do you think Kevin from Home Alone survives Oogie Boogie? The Beldam, maybe. Oogie Boogie, no, because if Oogie Boogie gets him, he's just going to melt his ass. Last one, it's not. I got more from you, but it's fine. Who do you think should actually win in this fight, the Beldam or Chucky? The Beldam. Chucky doesn't have any way to do anything against the Beldam. Have you played any Twisted Metal games? I have not. Plus, this one, last one, do you play Magic the Gathering or have it? Yes, I do. I actually have a Magic the Gathering playlist of stuff. I haven't done a lot of Magic the Gathering content in a while. I used to do videos detailing the set reveals, but I don't do that anymore. They just weren't getting traction. But if enough of you guys, like I usually say this, if at least 10 of you want me to do a certain type of video, let me put it like in the comments of this video. If I see at least 10 people saying, could you do these again? I'll bring them back. Yeah. What's your first episode and what your idea for how are the Who Would Win series? What was your first episode? Okay, what was my first episode for Who Would Win? You can also just go straight down to the playlist for that. Was it Goku versus Superman? I don't think it was. I think one of the earliest videos I ever did for Who Will Win, one of, if not the first, was Who Would Win Ghost Rider versus Hellboy. I think that was one of the very first ones I did. Okay, who do you think is better, Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, Genie from Aladdin, or Jack Black, I Am Steve, John Krasinski, the Jim look. Wait, those are memes. Ash Williams, Evil Dead trilogy. Also he is almost Mysterio. I know that. Keanu Reeves, John Wick, Okay, I'm not actually getting the question here. I don't like. Who do you think is better? And then you just kind of throw these out here. What's your favorite movie what's the favorite movie with these people in it? Okay, let's do that. Well, first off, if we're talking about Good Morning Vietnam and Aladdin, or Genie, I'd say Aladdin. I actually never sat through Good Morning Vietnam, so I couldn't answer that. In terms of a favorite movie from some of the people you've just given me, Ryan Reynolds, I mean, I love Deadpool, although I am a Van Wilder supporter, so I do like Van Wilder. Keanu Reeves, though, yeah, it's the John Wick series. I think that is legitimately his best role. Although he has done some other work, too. That's not bad. Bruce Campbell, it's hard not to say Ash, although he has done other movies. He has always just been a great actor and just good sport. Jack Black is one of those guys that I can go a little bit more in depth with his filmography. I think, though, my favorite role from him is School of Rock. John Krasinski, honestly, I like John Krasinski. I just don't watch a lot of his stuff. Like, I'm not a big Office fan, to be honest. Let's see here. Naruto. Okay, Jacob says Naruto versus Zarad from Tower of God. I think I wrote that down, but I don't. I'm sorry, my girlfriend just popped in over there. I heard you come in. I didn't. I heard you. Don't worry. I'm almost done. Geo Knuckles. My only question I don't know Tower of God, so I gotta look that up. My own question are the Digimon. I'll do the Digimon series. The Digimon series is every other month. It swaps out with the Lantern Corps series. So, yeah, don't worry on that. 10 questions from Noble Chief. Let's go. 1. In this video, is that a custom Wolverine helmet? And no, that is a popcorn bucket when I go to go see Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. So, no. So it's not a helmet. I got one, the Red Guardian popcorn bucket, which I can wear, but it's not a helmet. It's very uncomfortable. Do you think Superman's true successor if Clark who do you think is his true successor if Clark were to die or go MA? His true successor? There is a Superboy out there, so that'd probably be it. Have you seen the new Predator anime movie? I actually just watched it on Sunday. It was pretty good. It really was pretty good. I'm looking forward to Badlands. Despite all the people getting on the design choice of the Predator, it's a young Predator, for frick's sake. It's not going to look like the standard Predator. Get over it. Man, people just latch on to the dumbest thing. Have you read any of the new Alien Predator comics? No. With the Marvels, the Marvel stuff. I haven't read them, but I've followed Comics Explained, like the Wolverine versus Predator comic. I followed that. That was really good. And I've seen some of the stuff from the Xenomorphs taking over the Marvel universe. That was pretty cool too. So I have followed some of that. If Marvel was in the Tournament of Power, who would be the roster? Oh God. Assuming you're not using the abstract entities, like you're not using the one above all or anything like that. You're using Thor, though you can't use his weapon. You use Thanos, definitely. There are some serious. You probably use Galactus. You got to use your heaviest hitters, and unfortunately, most of the heavy hitters in Marvel are definitely heavy enough to possibly take out most of the DBZ roster. The biggest ones are going to have a challenge with are Jiren, Goku, Vegeta, obviously. Frieza, kind of, but not really. I mean, yeah, Jiren, Goku, Vegeta, like those guys are going to be your toughest competition. They could pull it off though. Assuming that they don't accidentally get knocked out. Have you seen Key and Peele? Yeah, I've seen Key and Peele plenty of times. My favorite sketch from Key and Peele, you always see like a new one, but I'm trying to think. Oh no, my favorite one is is the guy who's just like, I don't want to be awkward, but I don't like care for the Dark Knight trilogy. Awkward. No, no, it's not awkward. I literally just preface it by saying I don't want. I'm gonna be that guy. Like, and they just like have an original thought of your own. I don't have one. I just like everything everyone likes. Some people like me. Now that one might be one of my favorites. What are your thoughts on this year? I don't know about the Game Showcase Awards or anything like that. What's my favorite Pop Tart? Oh, anything with raspberry and frosting. I like raspberry. If you make or get yourself your favorite wings, what should you get? Parmesan garlic. Oh, that's good. 10. If you got the G virus from Resident Evil, don't you mean the T virus? Unless there's a new virus I'm not familiar with. If the G virus were in early Dragon, how long would it last? Oh, I couldn't answer that. They probably would wipe it out, honestly, given that world. Dragonfish Dojon. My question for your Q&A: what is your favorite anime, and why did you start your channel, and what is your hobby besides YouTube related? Hobby: I play games. I do go to the movies a lot, and that's not just for the channel; it's just for my own enjoyment. Why did I start a channel? Well, Mark and I wanted to make it big in the industry. We're not lying. I'm kind of not lying to you. We also just wanted an outlet for creativity and all that. And that's what I use it for now. My favorite anime, I mean, is kind of boring, but it is probably Bleach. So there's that. All right, Joshua Merriweather, one of 13. My battery's starting to run low, but okay. I'm just gonna get to the questions then. Can you rank your top 5 anime? Based on my knowledge on them. Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball. Actually, Bleach, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and then unfortunately, I don't really have a three or four on that. That gets a little tricky. What upcoming future movies do you think would be successful, which should never have been made? Will be successful? I mean, it depends on success. You just talking money or critical reception? I might say. Like Jurassic World's probably going to be successful. I'd say Superman's probably going to be successful. Wicked's going to be successful. Which one should never been made? You can't say never been made without seeing the movies. There might be movies I think look like trash, but they could be good. So I can't do that. Worst or least liked Disney princess or prince individually. Least liked Disney prince, Hans. Technically he's not a Disney prince, but he is. Least liked Disney princess, Meredith. I've actually heard a lot of people aren't a big fan of Meredith. Is there a way to stop AI Clock Cat for good? Well, that's up to you guys. If you want me to just ban him from the the only reason I haven't banned him from the comments is just in the fact that he's not impacting the channel at all. Granted, I don't like the comments like this guy's going to take forever to get to it, which admittedly is kind of true, but you shouldn't just disparage people like that. You shouldn't just talk about people like that on here. So if you want me to just ban him from the comments, just say so and I'll do it. I just need one person to say that. And again, he's not like stealing he's not stealing anything from the channel, so it's fine. What can fans and subscribers such as myself do to show more appreciation besides share and comment? For example, give thoughts or dialogue on something. I mean, no, look, sharing and commenting is great. Just if you get more people to, see the channel and, enjoy the channel if they like it, just spread the word that you guys are doing everything you can, really. Would you consider doing a crossover with other Naruto YouTubers? Like I said before, if they came forward to me, sure. I'm not going to go out of my way. Favorite video game adaptation to be a movie or TV show? Oh, right now I'll say Sonic. I haven't seen Last of Us, unfortunately. Top 3 reboots, revivals, or remakes you think are good? Revivals or reboots? I don't have an answer for that, unfortunately. Sorry. Don't have an answer for that. Who's dumber, Ed from Ed and Eve, Dale Gribble from King of the Hill, or Patrick Star? Patrick Star by a mile. The other two can function relatively all right. Ed's just kind of an idiot. Dale is just a paranoid idiot. But Patrick is something special. If Black Panther traveled to the DC universe, who are the top 5 superheroes he would get along with, whether best friend or love interest? I'll break that into like 2 love interests and 3 guys to get along with. Get along with Batman just fine. Hell, they would probably collab together, increase and turn his bat suit into vibranium, all that. Yeah. So Batman definitely. He'd probably get along most of the just fine. In terms of a love interest, Vixen. I mean, I'm not saying because they're black, just because they probably would get along very well. Hell, I could see him hooking up with a version of Wonder Woman. Yeah, I can see that happening. Your thoughts on the canceled Wonder Woman game, Blade movie, and Black Panther video game? The 2 games, didn't know they were canceled, although I think I knew the Black Panther one was. Blade movie hasn't been canceled yet. It's still, they haven't officially canceled it yet, so you can't say that's been canceled. Although I'm kind of under an opinion that it's probably going to get canceled. Which sucks, because this is one of the few times Marvel just flat out dropped the ball. Could you do a what if scenario based on themes for other months? No, I'm not going to do a what if themed month. I'm not doing that. Are there any unused Naruto what if scenarios where Naruto has different summoning? Yes, trust me, I've got plenty of Naruto summoning scenarios. So thanks for the questions. Davis, if you were creative in the entertainment industry, what would be a big picture structure or significant difference you would make to how the franchises are handled? Adaptations, long-term, well-known series, genre-specific installments handled? Or really, I don't care about the series so long as the property is given the due time it needs to be, created. So, yeah, as long as you take your time, like the James Gunn approach to DC, like actually take your time and don't rush things. That's all I care about. And I'm kind of speeding through these because I just don't have a lot of time. Demon Fire _ edits. You just gave me a bunch of who would wins. I'm not going to really go through them at the moment because I also don't know all these characters. But I'll just quickly say Jack Russell would win over Claudine. Indoraptor beats Saber. Springtrap probably loses to the My Little Pony character. So forth and so on. Sorry. Wade Wilson, to be honest, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? Worst movie? The only movie I ever walked out on was Norman and North. Spectre is back, but James Bond is off the grid. Which of these agents has the best skills to take him down? I'm going to say just out of the roster you gave me. I'm not going to go through all of them. It's either Natasha Romanoff or Ethan Hunt. That's going to be my thoughts on that. Who's the coldest, most calculating criminal mastermind in film history? Of the ones you gave me, I'd probably say either coldest and most calculating criminal mastermind. It's either Amy Dunn or Louis Bloom because they got away with it from Gone Girl and Nightcrawler, respectively. Which villain did you actually like more than a protagonist? There really isn't any answer on here except for maybe Yzma and Hades. Yeah, probably that. Otherwise, I mean, Killmonger, I didn't really like him more than T'Challa, just more in a different way. Yeah, definitely not those guys. Although Maleficent more than Sleeping Beauty, because Sleeping Beauty doesn't have a personality. So yeah. Let's see here. If you could choose one of these dads to be your dad, take my dad. Certainly, I don't have a dad. Who would it be? Let's see here. My lie taken. I mean, a guy who goes across the world to kill people who stole you is pretty good. But I mean, I'd probably go. Let's go with not Con Air. Where is it? Liam Neeson's character from Taken. Worst TV dad of all time. Oh, that's look, I don't know all these characters, admittedly, but given the ones you have here, Frank Gallagher's got to be one of the worst dads ever. Dream TV crossover show like Seinfeld meets Always Sunny in Philadelphia. House meets NCIS, just because I watched them regularly when they were on. You're dining with a fictional chef. Oh, that's not fair. Who's cooking? Assuming I get to live, it's either going to be Jon Favreau from Chef, because I will live, or Ralph Fiennes from The Menu, assuming I get to live that experience. What would a hybrid between a Saiyan and Viltrumite actually look like? It would look like a more powerful version of a Viltrumite, because now it can transform. You add Saiyan transformation onto a Viltrumite, you now have a very busted character, who already had Zenkais anyway. Hear me out. Would Carrie White have turned out better if she was raised by Pamela Voorhees? I mean, probably. She wouldn't have been, like, brutally abused. So, Yeah, actually, probably. And Saint Makashian, why did you stop doing the Let's Build? Okay, I already did one to just prove I didn't stop doing it. I didn't stop doing it. I stopped doing it because it's not. I just other things got away from me. I got busy, and it's not a regular part of the channel. That's why. So there you go. Power 99, how do you come up with your ideas? Honestly, I just take requests. That's what it is. Now, granted, there are ideas that come to me like mid-video, as you've seen, but I just take requests usually. And that is the end of this Q&A. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you September for the next one. If you like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.